the screen. Okay. Okay, so should we just give a few more minutes, Pramila? 1, 2, 3?
Maybe another couple of minutes. Yeah. I see.
I think some more people are joining in.
Yes.
Do we want, so whoever is new or joining for the first time, do you want to just give us a quick introduction so we know who you are and what you do?
Jayashree, do you just want to begin? Just another, a couple of seconds.
Hello, Sharmishta. This is Mangala. I'm joining with Jayashree today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mangala. Jayashree, Rutuja, do you want to just give a couple of seconds about yourself? Just a couple of seconds.
Hi, this is Rutuja. Yeah.
How did you come to know about the session, Rutuja?
By Gajanan Maharaj's group.
Okay,
Here, I live in this international village.
Okay.
And there is one group of Ivy. So
Okay.
one of my friends posted in this group. So I came from that.
Really appreciate you joining in. Thank you so much. We have Sam Sukumar, or the representative from there. Can you please just briefly introduce yourself? Just a couple of seconds.
Thank you. My name is Sam, and I work as anti-money laundering specialist in Chicago. And how did I get connected to this group? I'm not too sure. I must have received an email and thought, oh, this sounds interesting. So I just signed up.
Oh, thank you so much, Sam. Thanks for joining. And I'm sure these sessions are to be, truly be ready in these times. So definitely there'll be some benefit out of it for sure. Thank you so much for joining. We have someone joining in with area code 248. May I please request just to briefly introduce yourself?
Hey Pramila, I think this is me. I'm Shivani. Hi Sarmi.
Hey.
All right, then thank you so much for joining. Sarmi, do you want to begin?
Sure, I can get started.
Okay.
So I'm actually showing the first slide of the presentation. We are talking about generating additional income streams, and this is our professional readiness series 1. We're going to have a series of webinars, this being one of the most basic ones. And on the Sanjeevani website, you can find more information on the upcoming webinars in the following weeks. So let's get started on how we can generate additional income, secondary income, income from your hobbies and passions. So whenever we talk about generating multiple income streams, there are 3 basic questions we want to ask ourselves, right? We want to ask the why, we want to understand the how, and we want to also understand the what. Coming to the why for generating additional income streams. As you know, time is linear and it is always depleting, right? It never comes back. Our needs and wants are always increasing, right? And also our share of wallet, which basically means if this is your total household income, or for want of a better word, let's say you're eating apple pie, the slice of the pie keeps on decreasing, right? As more kids come in and kids' needs and wants increase or family members increase, so your share of wallet is decreasing. So if you add all these 3 together, it kind of gives you an idea as to why you probably need to generate a secondary income. Any questions? Anybody? Any additional ideas you think that I may have missed out that you think is a requirement why we want to generate additional income?
Can you please explain time is linear? What does it mean in layman's terms?
What this basically means is time is really on a single dimension, right? It's always decreasing. I mean, our time on earth is decreasing. We are aging. We are never going to be 16 again. right? So if you don't have a soundproof plan for today or your immediate future, you have very little catch-up time. So basically what I'm saying is here that as you go through the day, every day, you are always moving forward, not backward. So your strategy to save money or to generate additional income always has to be forward looking, because every day that you delay today, you're not going to get that day back.
Got it. Thank you so much.
It's kind of the number line, right? If you see the number line going from -0 to positive, you're always kind of going on the number line, right?
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm going to open this out to everybody. And if you can let me know, how would you answer the what do you need to get started? So let's say you have a plan to generate additional income. What do you think are the ingredients that you need to get started on this plan? Jayashree, let's start with you.
We need to have a plan as to how we are going to start doing it.
Absolutely. Great input. Yes. So you do need to have a plan. So let me quickly annotate that. Okay, we need a plan. Then what else do we need? We need to look at ourselves, right? In the sense like, what is it that we can use that we have, either by way of our inherent traits. For example, we are all blessed with somebody. Some of us love to write. Some of us love poetry. Some of us love to make jewelry. Some of us love gardening. So we have to look at ourselves like, do I have the necessary tools to get started on an additional income, right? It could also be, if I'm starting my life all over again, I have never worked before and now I need to go to the job market. Do I have the necessary tools to go to the job market, right? So this is really to kind of pick your brain a little bit and understand, try to start looking for the answers to the what you need to get started, okay? And then once you have the answer to the what, will come in the how. So let's say some of us here have a talent for, let's say, quilting or knitting or creating jewelry. Did you know that today one of the biggest websites in the world, Amazon, will allow you to sell your handmade products? Their second biggest competitor is a company called Etsy, which will allow you to sell your handmade products. So this is huge. It's not going to be probably supplementing your household income, but it could match up to even 20 to 30% of your income. And over a period of a lifespan, there's no retirement when you pursue a secondary income, right? Like a hobby passion, you can keep on making the money. The second, as a lot of you may be homeowners or maybe looking to buy a home, is investing in real estate. You can pursue investments in real estate while still working your current job. And the third one, a lot of us may have a passion for teaching, but we may not be able to leave our house and go out to a school or university to teach. Did you know that now you can create online courses and videos on one of the largest platforms called Udemy, Udemy, and I have more links down the line. And these will allow you to generate income 24/7, meaning even once you post the video, every time a person downloads the video or your course, you get paid. So there are so many ways to leverage the internet today. That is what I mean by leverage digital presence. So leverage the internet, Facebook, social media, Instagram, and really find a road for your hobbies and passions. Any questions? Okay, moving on. Okay, sorry, my machine seems to be giving up a bit. Um, Pramila, do you know how I can remove the video from the bottom?
The video recording?
Yeah, I don't know why this bar is coming at the bottom and I can't get to my, I can't seem to get to my, can you see my screen right now?
Yes, we can see it. If you can do the
Yeah, it's
slideshow
just,
from, yeah, if you do
I
the
can't get
slideshow.
to the slideshow because this video, the Zoom video is blocking me. Okay, one second. Okay. Let's see if that works. Okay, thank you. So we talked about Amazon. So you can sell on Amazon. They have Amazon Handmade right now, where you can go and sell your, they actually allow you to open a store, like a digital store, and you can start selling in like a couple of hours. There is Etsy, which is similar like Amazon, but Etsy, typically the people, the millions of people who come are coming because they value handmade goods. So you already have buyers here. So those days of, you know, going and asking somebody, some store to host your products is gone. You can just go digital by yourself and gain commissions from day one. There is also, for the few of us who are not blessed with such qualities of creating stuff by hand, there is also stuff where, let's say you are good at research, or you want to do some data entry work, or you want to be a virtual assistant. There is a website called Upwork where you create your profile and anybody looking to hire you. So this is project to project work. They can post a project and you can apply there. And then last but not the least, there is Freelancer, which is huge. For example, I did a project here many years ago where we basically helped, we were a bunch of MBA students and we worked together to help women in Uganda carry water. Now it might sound very ridiculous, like how can you sitting here help women in Uganda carry water? No, you can, because the problem is their villages are so far and they carry jerry cans. They walk 15 to 20 miles every day to just fill one jerry can with water. So there was a project posted here to figure out a way how we can maximize their time and allow these women, and some of them used to walk with their cows and goats and pregnant women walking 15 miles every day just to fill one jerry can of water. So we were students who got together on Freelancer from different parts of the world and we figured out a solution. And actually now they built an app for our solution and it's being used in Uganda. So there's really some cool work that you can do here, and all you need to do is just make that, make that motivation, flip that switch in your mind that, hey, I want to do something where I can fuel my passion, fuel my hobby, or just go for it, make a difference. So this is a very important slide and maybe it will take you a little time to sink in. Everything we spoke about right now was the why, how, and what. But none of this is going to be possible unless you create what I call a talent inventory. Like, as you know, what is an inventory? An inventory is like a shopping list, right? Before you go to the groceries, we always make a list. In the same way, you make a list of your talents. And like Jayashree said, we want to have a plan, right? This will help you create the plan to answer the why, how, and what. So some of these questions I've put here is stuff that I thought about, but of course there's so many more questions that you can ask yourself. For example, what do you really like doing? What do you enjoy doing? And if you had a lot of free time, what would you just do? What comes to you naturally? What do you like to talk about? And what would you like to do for pleasure? What do you like reading? For example, what are your strengths, And these will give you, you can box out all the skills or the passions and hobbies that you are blessed with, as a human being, or that you can retool yourself, and that will create your talent inventory. So I'm just going to go around the conference right now and ask everyone to share one talent that they think they have. Let's get started with whoever wants to go first. So I have a talent for writing and I'm trying to pursue that. So I went first. Who wants to follow?
I'll follow. This is Pramila. I have a talent for teaching.
Wonderful. Thank you, Pramila. Okay, who do we have next?
This is Shivani here. I have a talent for writing as well.
Awesome. Okay.
This is Jayashree, and I have a talent for cooking.
Okay.
What about you, Mangala?
Mangla is not here at the moment.
Okay. What about you, Sam?
I've been a business mentor previously and thought I did a good job. So I presume I've got some skills around that.
Thank you.
This is Mangala, and I ran a homemade jewelry business for over 10 years. But this was before the time of Etsy and Amazon and all that. So I actually went to craft fairs and sold my goods. And I also sold to friends and co-workers. So I have that experience, and I still have a lot of merchandise, which is already ready, made, and I have a lot of raw goods that I can make jewelry from.
Wonderful. So let's just take Mangala auntie for example, since she talked about jewelry. You could pretty much, auntie, if you were to answer all of these questions, I'm sure you would come up with a lot of answers. But just taking jewelry, for example, you can pretty much, even the raw material for jewelry, you can sell it on Etsy and Amazon. You don't have to actually build a product. But if you were to also build a product, you could also sell it on Etsy and Amazon. In other words, it's called reverse engineering, which basically means you not only sell the raw material, but you sell the finished goods. Therefore, by doing both, you save time and you maximize your income. So,
good idea.
Yeah, so this is something that a lot of us can think about. For example, we may not, like Shivani and myself, though we like to write, but we may not always have the time to write. However, we can volunteer or we can get paid if we were to post, if we were to, let's say, go on Freelancer or Upwork, and we were to say that, hey, we are writers and we work on a project to project basis, we can help other established writers, or we can help other people looking for writing work. We can help them in their work. Maybe the money won't be much, maybe $300-400 in a month, but hey, that's great, right? It's shopping money, buys you an airfare to Costa Rica or whatever. Coming to you, Sam, I mean, given your business skills and everything, I'm sure you can help businesses with, you know, ideas to get off the ground and start ahead. And that is something you could, you know, project yourself on these websites and be remunerated for it. So that's a quick example how we can all bring our talents together and make it and basically monetize it. So I have a few links here, and a lot of this is stuff that has happened in the last decade. So we talked about Udemy, right? So if you click on this link, it will take you to a whole bunch of stuff. Like if I want to learn Reiki, for example, and I want to become a tarot card reader or a psychic or something, I can go take a course, and who knows, I might just discover something with myself. I can also retool myself in terms of getting professional certificates from Coursera. And this is a site where you will find a lot of premier universities like MIT, Harvard, Berkeley. They offer courses as well as Microsoft, Google. The next one is actually very interesting. That's why I put a picture here. A lot of them right now is free. So that is a huge monetary saving. So you could possibly do a course in, let's say, social media from MIT and not have to pay a single penny for it, or Facebook marketing and not pay a penny for it. So it's really interesting if you go to these sites and if you see, this is all part of retooling yourself. So it's not only doing the talent inventory in terms of what you have, but also in what you want to aspire to do to get better at it. So for example, why we may be good at writing, we may not know how to write for social media. We may not know how to write for a particular conference per se. So this will give us that added edge, that finesse, as we may say. So I'll just quickly take you to edX.org after this during the Q&A. But any questions here? Okay. So last but not the least, if you were to start your own business or start a secondary income or work as a freelancer, it is a good idea to incorporate yourself. What this means is you set up a limited liability corporation. It is also called as LLC, which is one of the simplest and easiest forms of incorporating. You can do it online for $49 and it takes less than half an hour. And the reason we always suggest this is because in this country, as you know, there's so much things about liability and insurance and getting sued and data privacy. So this kind of really helps you and protects you. Also, if you are a freelancer, a lot of companies will ask for it, because for every time you get paid, they have to issue a tax certificate for you. So they really want to know if you're incorporated and if you have liability insurance. So this is just a kind of a quick check and balance, if I may say so, to make sure that you have checkboxed what you need to checkbox before you kind of start out in the freelancing field. Any questions? Okay. So we'll open.
Sir, my quick question. So I think we had a note a while back. Is that is that required, or is just a benefit for tax purposes?
So the CPA will tell you that if you're earning more than 20% of your income from freelance activities, then it is a good idea to consider yourself to incorporate yourself. That's kind of the rule of thumb. But I would always suggest it, because if you are really looking, it really depends on the kind of work you're doing. So if I am looking to do projects on Upwork and freelance, they will ask for general liability insurance. So it makes sense. I mean, for $50, I don't want to, set myself up for drama. So I would rather pay the $50, incorporate myself, and get my general liability insurance. Of course, there's an additional fee for general liability insurance. Typically, companies expect you, if you're working as a freelancer, to carry $1 million or a $500,000 policy. That's roughly $200 to $300 a year, which breaks down to $20 a month. So you definitely want to do that. It's a good idea. But if you're not going to be making more than 20%, then probably you can just still kind of get away with it. There's nothing illegal about it. Like you can still work as a freelancer and not be incorporated. It really depends on the kind of work you're doing.
Okay, thank you so much, Sarmi.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll open this up for Q&A, and I will show, before we do that, I just want to show these very quickly. I want to show these to you. So as you can see, I had selected hypnotherapy, but as you can see, there's just so much of stuff that you can do here and you can learn. It's just crazy kind of stuff. They have everything from business development, personal development, happiness. There's even courses that positive psychology, childhood trauma healing, emotional intelligence. There's photography, which is huge. One of my friends, she's actually doing a photography course, and now she's doing, all the video and kids' birthday parties just for fun. I mean, she really doesn't need to do it. She's a trained psychologist, but she's just doing it because she always wanted to be a photographer. So, yeah. And then there is edX. So as you can see, you have more than 2,500 online courses from institutions like the premier institutions here. They even have master's degree courses right now, which you can totally do online. And if you're looking to retool yourself, you've come back to the job market after a break and you want to do something different, there's so much to choose from. And it's all online. And for a certain fee, you can even get a certificate from these universities. Most of it is online and free, but if you want a paid course, it's like anywhere from 99 to $100, you can also get a certificate. And then the other one is Coursera, where now, as you can see, they're all saying on top, join for free. So I would strongly suggest, if you're looking to retool yourself, this is a great time. And as you can see, this is also like leading universities. Okay. So any questions, any concerns, any ideas?
I think so, yeah, certainly, as you said, during these times, it's best to re-equip ourselves, because who knows, online work will be the norm in the next few months for sure, until the COVID situation dies out.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. You can all unmute yourself now. This is open for discussion. Yes, Shivani, any thoughts? Sam, Jayashree?
Yeah, I was on mute, Sarmi. Yeah, thank you